we have the lovely Mickey Guyton on Pure Country. And I cannot believe this, but this is my first time actually getting to talk with you.
Well, I'm so glad we finally got to talk to each other. How are
I
you?
know I'm good. And I feel like first things first, what we have to discuss is the fact that within, I think, just months of each other, we both became first time moms and boy moms.
Oh my God.
Yep.
When did you have your baby?
December
Oh,
11th. So
wow.
he's 9 months old. But your
Mine's
son is
7.
so cute.
It's criminal how fast it goes by, isn't it?
It truly is. Everyone tells you that, but then when you're actually in it, you're like,
You're
please
like,
time.
stop growing.
Yeah. My son just said mama for the first time a couple days ago.
Ah,
So prepare yourself. If that has
God.
not happened yet, it will crush your heart.
The heart explosions, man. Every day.
So congratulations, the new album, Remember Her Name. What an incredible album. I feel like there's so many feelings when you listen to this record. It's empowering, it's sexy, it's funny, it's soulful, but more importantly, I feel like it's such an honest and truthful record. What was it like putting this project together?
This has been a labor of love. First of all, it took me years to finally get to the point where I I shut out all of the opinions of labels and what they thought what I should do, and I just sat down and was like, I just want to write my honest truth in country music from my perspective. And I want to credit the songwriters that helped me write this. They're some of my closest friends. It was so cathartic and healthy and fun and comfortable. Like we just sat in our room together and just talked out what we wanted this album to be. And it was there's so much love. There's so many people that are new that got chances that maybe haven't gotten chances before that are a part of this album. There's also a lot of Canadians on this album, like like an
I love it.
honorary
I feel
Canadian.
like you're an honorary, yeah, you're an honorary Canadian
I am.
for so many
I feel
reasons.
like I
I
am.
mean, and the thing that I find so interesting, and I think it's incredible, is the fact that you wrote All American with all Canadians. What was that like? That had to be fun. I feel like they're obviously well versed in American culture and
Oh, absolutely. I wrote this with Victoria Banks, Emily, and Karen Kasowski, and they're all just incredible women. And as I was making this album, I write song titles in my phone, and I was like, how do I bring people together in a moment where there's so much division? And I was like, all American. Like it's just like we're all American. And so I texted my girls. I didn't think about anything other than they're
your
my
girls.
writing, my songwriting angels.
Yeah.
And we just got together, and I love Mutt Lang and Shania Twain, another Canadian.
Yep.
And I channeled that in this song, and it was just so fun. I was very pregnant when we wrote this song. Recording it was so hard because, as you know, the more you're pregnant, there's no room in your stomach. Like
No.
your diaphragm couldn't go anywhere. So if I had eaten food before I recorded, I couldn't hit the notes because my diaphragm couldn't go anywhere. So we would have to record it another day.
Yeah. I think was it the CMA Awards you performed pregnant? I think
ACMs.
ACMs. Okay. Because I remember watching that and going, okay, when I was pregnant, I couldn't walk up the stairs without getting out of breath like ever. So I'm like, how
Oh,
is she sounding the way she does right now? It's incredible.
I have no idea because I was out of breath, like just walk because the protocols they had us like we couldn't even really be in the building. So we
Right.
would have to be on tour buses and then walk a mile, it felt like, to get there. So imagine being pregnant. And
Oh,
I was only like 4 months pregnant, but my baby was just like, hey,
yeah.
I'm
It doesn't
here.
matter.
I'm here. Like people are going to know.
Well, you looked incredible and you sounded incredible. And I was at home in my pajamas cheering you on.
Oh my God, thank you.
So a couple songs I kind of want to go through because I mean, if I went through the whole thing, we would be talking for hours, which I would love to do. But there's a song on there called Do You Really Want to Know? And as a woman and as a mom that has gone through a feeling of really struggling and not wanting to tell anyone that you're struggling, and also going through the, everyone calls you and says, how are you? And you're like, do you really want to know exactly how I feel right now? And I feel like that song and that message is one that has kind of been missed, and you captured it so well. Was that kind of a therapeutic song to write for you?
Very much so. That song was therapeutic for me. And that was one of the first songs that I wrote as I was transferring to this whole other side of me, and transforming into a whole other side of me. Sorry. And I just felt it was real, like people need to be honest. Like we all ask the question, like, how are you doing? You say, I'm good. Yep. And you may have been just sobbing your eyes out in the bathroom 5 minutes earlier. And after giving birth, absolutely. Oh, yes. I know exactly. Like people don't talk about that fourth trimester.
No, they don't. After that, it's like, oh, how's the baby? And you're like, the baby is fine, but mom is struggling.
Like struggling. There were so many times I was crying alone in the shower for a second because it was so, whoa. And I just felt like in a song, like, let's talk about the real things right now. Like that's what country music is. Like, like, let's talk about what we're going through. And at that time I had been drinking too much. I had hit a complete rock bottom. I was, and I just wanted to talk about it. So maybe people would know, like, you can go through that and still become better for it. Yeah. Like that's what life is.
For sure. Oh, that song, I love it. It's kind of my anthem right now. Cause I'm like, I need to remind myself of this every day. Obviously the title track of the album is such a special one for you specifically, but it was licensed for the Olympics. And then we actually had our Canadian tennis player, Layla. It was her anthem the other day on the US Open semifinals. What's it like hearing a song that's so personal to you and seeing it become an anthem for an athlete or whoever it is?
Man, when I saw the footage from the US Open as well as the Olympics, like I'm such an emotional person, but I've gotten extra emotional, and just to watch that. And I had no idea when I wrote the song, it was a personal story for me. And then I looked at like what was going on with Simone Biles and all of these strong women. Like people have no idea the struggles that so many of us go through on a daily basis just to get here, just to sit in front of this camera as we talk to each other. People have no idea. And that's so powerful. Women are superheroes. And I hope that this song, and it's beautiful to see this song being appreciated the way that it is.
I feel like it started, but I feel like it hasn't even hit even close to the peak of the movement it's going to make. Cause I feel like it applies in literally every facet of the world when it comes to women. So congratulations on that. Cause that's gotta be such an amazing thing to be able to see. Last thing I want to talk to you about, because you kind of mentioned this when you were talking about putting this record together, you thought back to who you were when you started this whole journey. I can only imagine what the advice would be. It would probably be lengthy, but if you could go back and just kind of talk to yourself when you first started this whole journey in the music industry, going from that person to this woman putting out this record, Remember Her Name, what would you tell the young Mickey Guyton?
I would have told myself to trust my gut. I recently sat down with Estelle, the artist, and she said something that was so powerful. She said, your gut instinct is almost 100% correct. And I saw myself as this person, maybe not as much of an advocate as I've become. I was not prepared for that, but I saw myself as this truth teller in my songs when I first started, and somehow I veered from that because of all of these other opinions. And I would have said, trust your gut and stand up for yourself. And especially women, when we get into these roles, wherever we're working, so often for me, at least, like authority, it's like my dad.
Yep.
And I have to realize that once you're an adult, once you're 18, we're equal.
Yeah.
They may be younger, but we're all equal. We're all considered adults. So stand up for yourself and follow your gut.
I think I struggle with that sometimes too in my position, because I'm a very opinionated person, but I'm always so apprehensive to really speak my truth, because I'm like, oh, well, what are they going to think, or what are they going to do? And I feel like following you on social media, getting to speak with you, and listening to your record, it really inspires me personally to go, I don't have to be afraid to be honest with what I feel and who I am. So I thank you personally. And I can only imagine how many other people out there are feeling the same way and would love to be able to tell you. Well, you are beyond inspirational. And can we just get you to Canada soon?
Yes. Oh my God. Let this pandemic be over. I need to be out there in Canada. Yes, please.
Okay. Well, I can't wait for that. And I request that I get to host your first show in Canada.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, we love you on Pure Country. Mickey Guyton, thank you so much for joining us. And everyone, go listen to her record, Remember Her Name.